A dog was ejected from a car during a crash and then found on a sheep farm herding sheep. A woman was late for her job after cows invaded her garden, and 2 men were rushed to the hospital after a whale landed on top of their boat. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I record in a closet. Where do you listen to this? Tell me where. I must know. A dog was ejected from a car during a crash on Sunday, was just found on a sheep farm herding sheep. This dog's name is Tilly. Tilly is a 2-year-old border collie. Tilly had the unfortunate experience of being ejected from a car over the weekend during a car crash. Tilly's been found, thankfully, on a sheep farm, of all places, where he had apparently taken up the role of a sheep herder. This dog is just hanging out with a family for most of your life. Then you're ejected from a car. You land in a sheep field among some sheep, and you're like, well, I guess I'm doing this now. Talk about rolling with the punches, Tilly. Talk about just, dealing with the hand you've been dealt, living in the moment. Tilly's very zen, is what I'm trying to say. I think all dogs are extremely zen. They just really have a grip on how to live in the present tense all the time. This is why they're so happy most of the time. So according to Tilly's owner, he's lost a little bit of weight since the crash and is now drinking a lot of water, but otherwise is completely healthy. I would like to know how far did this dog get ejected from a car where you just couldn't find the dog? You don't eject something a mile away, do you? Is this an ejector seat like you see on the Jetsons or something? How does a dog end up so far away that you can't find the damn thing? You're calling the name of the dog, I assume, post-crash. Maybe you even have a small search team consisting of you and your friends and family, perhaps, looking for Tilly. There's a nearby sheep farm. You don't even think to search the sheep farm. I got so many questions on how it happens that a dog just does not return to you and ends up just herding some sheep. And are border collies just like natural sheep herders? Are all dogs natural sheep herders? You just put the dog among some sheep and they're like, yeah, I know what to do. I was built for this. I know what's going on. Yeah, I'm just going to hang out with these sheep. I know. I protect the sheep, keep them in line. I used to live with humans. Now I'm living with the sheep. Well, I did a little digging. I couldn't find any more information about Tilly. I did find a photo, and he looks like a very happy, lovely dog. I also did a search on herding dogs, and do they automatically know how to herd? The answer is yes, if they happen to be certain breeds. Common herding breeds include the border collie, which is actually the most popular breed of herding dog in the United States. So Tilly was just genetically set up for this. So if you do own a border collie and the dog goes missing, I would look for the nearest sheep farm because no doubt your border collie is going to be trying to get a job over there. A woman was late for her second day of her new job after cows invaded her garden. Do you see the theme here? It's animal time, baby. We're doing Animal Planet now on Tuesdays. Just kidding, just today. An employee had a novel excuse for being late in her first week in a new job. What was the excuse, huh? Did she have shingles? A little coffee cough? What about that COVID? Maybe an STD? No, cows invaded her garden. Cows in her garden. I guess cows just roaming around still, certain areas. This took place in England, Lancashire area. Should I give a little accent? Emily Jones could hardly believe her eyes when she was about to head out to work at 8:15 a.m., only to find 2 intruders grazing on her lawn and preventing her from getting to her car. The amusing incident. Oh, whoever wrote this is just a brilliant comedic scribe. The amusing incident took place this past Tuesday, and it didn't end there. With incredulous drivers spotting the 3 cows sauntering through the town center later that morning. Oh, to live in a place where cows just roam around in your town. Just kind of kicking it back old school, Emily, age 29, admitted it was a big shock, but despite only being on the second day of her new job at an infirmary, she thankfully didn't get to any trouble. She says, I stayed in my house until they left. Phew, oh, goodness. No way was I going outside. I was just about to set off for work at the infirmary. Had to tell my manager I would be 10 minutes late. She found it very hilarious. I showed her the pictures of the cows to let her know I wasn't fibbing. Well, yeah, you gotta come up with the photos. You know, you can't just tell people that there's cows in your garden preventing you from leaving your house without showing them the proof. I'm not going to believe anybody if I'm a manager and they go, hey, I can't leave my house because there's emu on my doorstep. I'm like, you show me a photo of these emu, all right? Okay, you're not just going to like bang out of work today, all right? So take me down to the infirmary, lay me down on cotton sheets. Emily doesn't have to worry. Her neighbor came out to save her. The neighbor came out and knew what to do with the cows. I know what to do with the cows. Let me show you what you do with cows. This is how you get the cows out of your way so you can get to your car, so you can get to your place of employment. Neighbor came out and was stroking the cows. Ooh. Although she did discover they had left her a surprising parting gift. Oh, I wonder what that parting gift was. Perhaps some cow pies? Don't want to step in that on the way to your car because then you're going to go to your second day of work at the infirmary with some cow muck on the bottom of your shoes there. Emily says, the cows were very friendly. They did leave me a present on my rose bushes. Moving on to new pastures. The cows then caused a stir on Market Street in the town center. Whose cows are these? Just wandering around in Lancashire? Don't the Beatles mention Lancashire in a song? You know, sometimes I'm just jealous of people who live in like rural areas. You get to have this excitement with the wild animals. You know, they get to get involved in your life. I always live in big cities. I never get wild animals involved in my life except for pigeons and rats. I wouldn't even call these wild animals. I just want to hang out with some monkeys, man. I want to hang out with 4 monkeys in a hot spring. How about that? Can we make that happen? Kickstarter, baby. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. 2 people were rushed to the hospital after a whale landed on their boat. That's right, a whale landed on their boat. Let's hope it's not a kayak. 2 men on the New South Wales far south coast. New South Wales far south coast? Too many Souths in there, guys. They've been hospitalized, these 2 fellas, after a big old fat whale landed on their deck, on the deck of their boat. I'm looking at the boat. It's never going to be the same. Gonna need a new boat, I think. Maybe stop boating altogether. If I'm into boating and a whale lands on my ship and wrecks it and puts me in the hospital, I might be done. Maybe I'll hang up my captain's hat. That's what I think is going to happen. Catch me with some floaties in the pool at that point. Emergency services were alerted to the incident after 9 a.m. on Sunday, when the 39-year-old skipper issued a mayday call to the Marines. Mayday, mayday, there's a whale on my shin. There's a whale. I can't get my leg out from under the whale. The skipper managed to get the boat back to the boat ramp where he and his 18-year-old passenger were met by the paramedics. Oh, they got the boat there. The teen was airlifted to the hospital with serious head injuries and a suspected fracture to his neck. Goodness gracious. The skipper was treated at Moruya Hospital for a suspected concussion and cuts all over his face. John Moore is a former Montague Island charter operator, said the accident was very unusual. Was it, John? Yeah, because whales don't usually do that. They don't jump right up on your boat. This ain't no Moby Dick situation. Here's a quote from John Moore. Well, I'm extremely surprised. Situations like this are very, very rare. Whales, as you know, are incredibly intelligent and very aware of the areas that surround them. From my experience, it's been a case of larger boats hitting whales and not large whales hitting small boats. You know, it's incredibly rare for a whale to breach and land right on top of a boat, you know? Very rare. My 40 years at sea, I've only ever heard of it happening one time before. In my 40 years as a pirate, I only had whales jumping on a boat maybe once in my life. I'm a little hopped up on the rum right now. I once saw a whale make love to a porpoise. It was amazing. I was deserted on an island for about 8 years, eating nothing but coconuts and lice, eating the lice that was on my hairy legs. This is what happens when you drink as much as me. Say no to drugs, kids. Say no to drugs. So says Pirate John Moore. Arr. All right. Superintendent Joe McNulty said they launched an investigation into this incident. The incident demonstrates, according to him, that the dangers that these animals can pose to those on the water. And he says, we encourage anyone hoping to get a closer look at marine life to maintain a safe distance. You must not approach a whale any closer than 100 meters on a vessel, including boats, surf skis, and kayaks. I can't imagine approaching in a kayak. That's that you're just asking for it. Can't a whale just like swallow you? Now you're living inside a whale? What's that story? There's like a fairy tale where someone gets swallowed by a whale. Is it Pinocchio? Oh, I can't remember. I'm not really up on my fairy tales.
Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Theater AF News. You're very special loyal listeners. I appreciate all of you this right. Oh yes, please come over my house for beet soup. Beet soup and the beer. Do you like the IPA? So good to be here. What a great episode featuring animals and more animals. Oh boy, lots of animals. I got some phone calls I'm publishing because people call here sometimes and they say crazy things. Shout out to Jim from Cleveland. Nice to hear from my buddy Jim, who I adore, just congratulating me on my 1,000 episode. Thank you, Jim. You're part of the Weird AF News family. That's, you're part of the show, baby. So thank you. Thank you for your continued support. It's people like you that are the reason that I do this. Also got a nice call from Michael from Iowa City. As always, we love to hear from Michael. Got some nice jokes in there, Michael. Thank you very much. Very good. Nice. Mike's bringing the comedy. Also, at the end, you're going to hear a commercial for a new product that I'm pushing. So listen for that. And just trying to make some money on the side if you guys want. If you need some new pants, you might want to pay attention to the end of this. And if you guys like to call the show, anytime, 646-450-2012. Please check out my Patreon. That's how we pay the bills around here. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews. That's where you want to go. Join the Patreon, support the show. You can also support the show by just telling a friend that here's a podcast that you might want to give a try. If mainstream news has got you down, here's a podcast that might be for you. It'll turn your day around. Maybe not. And also follow me on Instagram at FunnyJones. If you got an article you want to send me, you can send it there, or funnyjones@gmail.com.
Jonesy, you rock and roller. I wanted to congratulate you on your milestone. I mean, getting to where you're at, buddy. Doing a great job, and just to let you know, people appreciate you doing what you're doing. You're making people happy. And that's what it's all about. If you can make somebody happy and turn a smile on their face instead of the face smile upside down, turn it the other way, that's a good thing. So keep up the good work, and people appreciate you. And one day you'll make it here to Cleveland to do a routine, and I'll have to say hello and buy you a cup of coffee. Or who knows, maybe I'll even buy you a beer. And you can stick that bottle of beer in your ear and drink it and be happy. All right, my brother, take care. I love you. Bye.
Hey, Jonesy, it's Michael calling from Iowa City. I was listening to your podcast from yesterday's stories about this Brazilian comedian or comic who pulls this stunt where he jumps in front of a bus, leaves himself plenty of time to quote unquote stop the bus because he calls himself Superman. And his little stunt didn't work out this time, and he ended up getting hit by the bus. But he gives all praise and honor to God for saving his life because he didn't allow enough time for the bus driver to stop the bus in time. And so to use a turn on the word, I guess this bus driver was God-smacked. And anyway, I guess he was kind of dazed and confused when he walked away from the getting hit by the bus. He survived. Maybe he ought to call himself Superman. All right. Couldn't resist. You guys take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Celebrity participants have been compensated for their endorsement. Hello, America. This is Jonesy. You may know me from my daily podcast, Weird AF News with Jonesy. You may also know me from my participation in many different things. I'm an actor, comedian, stand-up comic, philanthropist, voiceover artist. You may have seen me with my television work and my appearances on such television shows as Late Night with David Letterman, Gotham, and Late Night with David Letterman. Well, there's something new, and I'm excited about it and can't wait to tell you. You've probably heard of wet pants, the pants that make you look like you've just peed your pants. Well, in America, urinary incontinence is a problem all across this country, but there's something new and exciting that takes a step beyond wet pants. And it's something I want to tell you about now that I'm endorsing and want to let you know all about. It's poopy pants. That's right, America, poopy pants. The pants that look like they have just been stained with your fecal matter. That's right, America. Poopy pants are the great product, and I want you to know that every pair has been prepared just for you using our proprietary blend of grass clippings, car rust, and road tar. We mix these together and create just the appropriate stain in the seat of the pants that make you look like you've just soiled your pants. That's right. We take these products, mix them together, and create a permanent blend in the soil of the bottom of your pants so that it looks like your pants have just had an accident in them. That's correct, America. We let you know that this stain is permanent and prepared just for you. Now, wet pants can only be purchased with piss coin, but poopy pants, they have their own special product that you must use to purchase them. You've heard of Bitcoin. Well, that can't be used to purchase poopy pants. You must use shitcoin. That's right, shitcoin. It's the product that you must use to purchase poopy pants. Of course, good old American cash is also possible, as well as most American credit cards. So, use shitcoin to purchase poopy pants. The pants that are taking America by shitstorm. Now, if you want to know more about shit pants, you can call 646-450-2012 and speak with one of our operators. And if you have a question about whether your pants have been shipped, call us up and ask us, when will my pants be there? And we'll tell you when they will be arriving. We'll let you know we shipped your britches and they'll be there tomorrow. America, buy poopy pants. Endorsed by Jonesy.